Nti said ye be ya ye kunnom ene ye ma ye papa nom omo ka se bia ya ye racist nti ye be yi ekwa be mi be ma kwa be 10 minutes na obi o person o wish ne papa a happy Father's Day no we be tinya wish ne fe 45 says 45 na ya sign started program no enti me diken may take this opportunity na ma wish me papa a big happy Father's Day. Me wish me papa happy Father's Day me papa Eddie Mr. Commenting but I did your friend Nana Pepra the second 18 Nana baby obia me mano enkwada onunti me jina afidie kese so sabe papa nti me ka se me hu breda na ma bre nyame ti nyame onto ne nkwanem na me take this opportunity so ama me kasa me ho kani the father of Mr. Williams Amponsan, the king of the airways, my sweet potato. Mi chocho mucho. Just say, me dona kasa. Mi jina me ne me man of happy Father's Day. Ono nene, wama me ne me ma yeti baby oda, or the drum me be sume me maso. Say ye ka eja no mo dia, just say oye number 1. Oye ja eti Mr. Williams. I don't wanna afraid we Mr. Williams. Me ma happy Father's Day. Wa kasa queen of the airways. Me do. I love you so much. Na me fast akwa we so me answer me ofa. Mr. Bright, me man happy Father's Day pa kese. Ofa nya no there we munyina fire. And my papa for mo platform is me mamu this opportunity me the mamu nyina happy Father's Day. Me to be in Kenya chairman asawa. Munyina me bia happy Father's Day. Mpamcho kwan da ho. So we be say original papa happy Father's Day. Now ya continue program no fe.
Mama for we so say me Jesus mama say we ejanom omona hwehwe ya ma rekem samre mu say ye hu say Eric na say ajikun family ne wo ha na eja ye besoe no wa tretre ye ye papa prekope ye fe no nana akosi but ye na fe no dada twum meka mama yivo okunu ye baaye ono na ye na betena ona tete ye ona kire aduane ye eto bi pa ye baaya yekudwuma ona be kire se ukodi dwa hihye no ma we ye ba foforo no o kye ne nim se bia enya fa so ma ye but eboaye ye papa ompekasa ompekasa but nansa ba ku bi obeka kye obia no efutu mpa omu yi enti da gosi ka se na mo nhira opa yi ye baaye ekwaya fa so odi e fa so o hande ye na sebi wa me ya basabasa no nhira opa nti ye fa kwa nso ne ya hye da gosi happy Father's Day ebiem nso Mr. Bright nso ye ndimi nya na chi sanse empanyimfo a omo ehye ye nkura pa e okrum ha ono nso ye yini film enyi enti olumai ye nya film olumai na ka ho je olumai na be 30 wagope enti olumai ye ka se nyame onhira pa
no sir, thank you
and be nso mo fa prekope oyem ofa to be we say oyem ofa prekope asawa asawa oye me wo fa prekope da half five oyem wo fa prekope because the we are ye ba ye na futuo the o sigade ye je ofa na me wo hira papa ewo futuo ne the we are wo si hande ye ya be person ambre no e say na me hira o e say budi e be che ye fa kwa we nso na ye sofo nya akoso so ya man happy Father's Day sense on a special father or day or tretre ye onzo na me wo hira na pa e be biem nso ye national head any soft kofimo any asofo ne edesi na no e mo bia happy Father's Day na me wo hira bibiara Antiba. A corner be at all, so people always should be Father's Day. I can't be at all, but you are. If you quite to us, ye will see on Father's Day. Ha, it is open can be so kunu. Open can be so be a or papa be a ya my own bear 3 minutes be a ye de my own wish on Father's Day. Say a man and come ya mure if you own. Say the Eduswa. Yeah, that ye did refi. And so I mean instantly but say wakai say and any Father's Day. Say obi anya ready dia yemfa advert ba ko ntwa mu na yenhye dwumade na se say de be ya ebitima ato dwumade nso ne kwa so say de edi ka kana first time ni a waba platform so a man store platform so no waba yesua de ebomu kwhia wonte ase ye boaboa ye ho ntimi say feel free uba onirai say obi na ma so a ni di ma say free obi na yifa say omra so edwumade mu no ye besua oma single parents omufa so a ometi wo mu omu situation de ha awose wo do so tibi eyedan na mu mabam eyedan no mutimi bedu bebenso yi no na ye hye ense da wala fuche bia no una excuse bia say unji meki edino me say obi ma so afre obi na kan say omra na omadwane ye se de edika na container ho asem de oye champion wo mu no Mr. Domankwa untimi enyi Mr. Domankwa emfi container yemu oye adwuma ache with many and so experience se wo no mama Mr. Domankwa a Queen Shipping Limited ya ono man se de tie biara no e ba hodu se enwo eba enfunso bi a obesi obetua oka anaso obepa ebi asa de amount na enwo so ema enfunso oni se unko desi da bia opeso no makono se Queen Shipping Limited na obede omefo no nyina anko ofre na se de kese sitie se de ne keto sitie ono de obaba befa akọ amana ye kama ebiem nso medical catcher say me pa me de se mesi dan se me de China door de da bi mi kanfo so ma me ye dan wadwuma nti minim de America se wo de China door e ya odan a maybe of us da o kan yo waso auto China door ma 4 and wato ebia no beko na asai togara for door ye onua enua na African na eba eni se ufre bente wuduresi a dwumedie biara pese odie bia no obai sisi ofie amana ye kama se opese ye doors oye odrop se opese oye kitchen ni nyina no obai ne Ghana ho ba bensu na ode kọ na waye amana ye kama na afiti ofie o kama ne se mento bi this is a good no ebe dọọso se ye boss bi bia from Mr. Domankwa but kitchen de o wo karodo enti de make am man se ufre bente wuduresi a wonsa eweka no na wede odu ufie wo dwumede nyina ama the number na also Ghana ofre na ka say man store so e na wotie unya ne number ifriye na enhye ne nkura say yeso ye promote na dwumede no ma ne konkai de toto okura medical gacha wo say hwe sama e ba ye de e wo say wo nipadua na ho ya hye jacket ya hye yas ache da bi sama ba de ya me kura me body no kura na enso ka me si me yi ho never ma fa ho but say body no say bibi egugu a ya na wi mo asa na ye stakla da bi penku a yemfa no bi amfra ye ufa mama Jamira say the skin tie biara tuntumo koko chocolate yo obenya nku ama o oil ho kama it ufa ne pe say the tie biara obenya nku ama enti no men sama mama Jamira ngoto mo ni bia nku a mo de chemicals ya ye eno sra be se kala ha nti fa mama Jamira na o mede o ma nku a ebe bo ma o kala to so erisi ase ne ejama anti iba so bi ma so a eni di ma say yem frefre ye ho say o mra medwo ne ye na ebe wie no na aboa amadwuma de na konka pa obi ma so a o mra medwo ne ye fru bi so o mra medwo ne ye that's anti iba eja ama o take over my so you ready there
my ready pa that my story
changing life pa so camera na my why
oh sorry my story
Changing life.
Yo, last week program na yet so. I to me so be my abomode answer be friend na waba because any ebisua me ma me bre. Yenya ya ma me no. So I'm try so so beba. Ye papa no mra. Enti me pacho Mr. and Mr. Lute. Pacho mo so am some camera na e man. Na afeye to aso fefe. Okay. We are still on last week program. The topic, children raised by single parents. They were raised by a single parent alone. Without wasting much time, we have Mr. and Mrs. Alote in our midst. Mr. and Mrs. Alote, we welcome you to my story program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. and Mrs. Alote is our panel members today. We welcome you again. First of all, I want Mrs. Alote to introduce the both of you because ladies first. So if we say that, who is Mr. and Mrs. Alote? And afterwards, then Michael, you have to summarize what we learned last week for us. In the sake of our people, they couldn't came last week, so that they can have some impact on what we learned last week. So, Mr. and Mrs. Alote, please can you introduce both of us for us, please?
Oh, thank you very much. We are honored to be here again for the second time. First of all, I also want to wish everybody happy Father's Day. Our fathers have been our role models. We are very, very much proud of them. And like they say, every man can be a dad, but it takes only few men to be a father.
That's right.
It's a really hard work. You need to give good leadership for your children, be a good role model. We are so grateful that we have proud fathers we could look up to. I wish every father here a happy Father's Day, and I pray that God will continue to bless you, all your heart's desires to come to pass today, that all the blessings from the world will be given to you today. Amen.
Amen.
So I'm going to give a short introduction. Michael and I are married. Okay, switch. Mami country. And many Michael, I worry for you worry 2018. So I'm gonna say almost 2.5 years in it. Last week, we got the honor say, in kind of story. Both of us, we were raised by single parents. Into Michael Papa ka baby no 16, my mommy ka baby na 13. Into nkaka na nyame adom yedru baby a yedru into yeda nyame ase so the yedru sampempen so he say yenso no yenya this honor to share our story, and we pray say yebesua bibi efremu going forward now. You hope say it will also have an impact and change others' lives by the grace of God. That's it.
Okay, that's a part gifty. And yes, one started there last week, and your man is here, and we say, oh, no, you can summarize it. Now, then my co-husband hope.
And to give a short summary last week, many introduce you home. You can your story about a choir meme so a car baby now unfortunately olusu life and as I me papa ni me menketua and ayetena as a kolano we had our struggles at home school so you face challenges mikuno afano so ne papa olusu ne papa at the age of 16 also a kind of story or kind of challenges I will face here I will fear and ne mama kra na o panic say omuntu free Holland because now osuro nim the left and right bi na mikuno na or take control over bibi and no necessarily Michael na obeye bema e wo fie or take decisions e ma no bibi ano as so money aban ye no necessarily no na oboa ne maame ma omoye ni school mo no so affected no na exams we went to antro finally no bono school for no e man another chance e man period that on the exams that bibia echo every pay you know that is about what we said near challenges are you face here yeah, so you can also give a short summary.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What else? We also discussed the difficulties on the parent side, raising as a single father or single mother a child, and the responsibilities that comes with it, especially also being in a foreign country, and also related to the decisions you make in your life. How does it affect the children? Like, okay, the decision to, for example, remarry. Who are you bringing home, and how is that going to affect the environment your child is growing in? So these are issues we discussed, challenges we discussed last week, in order to help everyone to understand, like, okay, it's all influences the lives of the children, whatever decision a parent makes. So yeah, so these were, I think, one of the main topics we discussed.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Alote. Then I will use this opportunity to ask you this question. In the mix of your friends, were you facing some challenges if they talk about their dad?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, what I felt was some friends, they don't really know how to go about it. We have been close, and then suddenly a tragedy occurs in your life. There are friends that were really there. They were like almost visiting every day, trying to try to comfort you, to help you in your darkest times. But there are also friends that I believe they don't know whether you are comfortable talking about it or something, so they rather withdrew themselves. So these are things you notice as a kid growing up with a strategy like this. So it was, sometimes it was tough. You had some awkward moments. But in general, I believe your closest friends will always be there. You, in those moments, are the moments you will actually notice who are your real friends.
Real friends, yes.
Exactly. So and I was glad to actually have those, because those friends are actually my closest friends still up to date.
Wow.
So it's, although the tragedy is intense, you will see who are the people that really care about you in your darkest time. So it's I don't know how to say, but you will see differences in friends. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Then I'll ask your wife the same question. Gifty, among of friends, muna me free muno. Dear challenges and na ufisi.
I think among my Ghanaian friends, no more careful, so more calm, me who as a measurement to like be ambassador by customer, bet head to like more careful, so more calm, but as time went on, also no, almost who said, "Nami okay," say even if I'm more calm, as like I also talk about it. I think say be an admin you say, and as I think so person you say a foot more wise. You know, challenges among my friends, the man share that I'm facing it too much. I think say one person who will fear and I will share situation more. That is when the pain comes, now hurt comes, because now for the almost person almost can't deal when he beje almost share that and show with him and cast someone ever hurt on it. Those things, you know, you only feel that pain. So, oh, me mama wa hanka, bia me suku ana fear de yon here or how about church many idea. And you know, I think so when you are on your own, no, you think about these things. Say, yeah, me mama wa hanka, but my friends said they were okay about it. Like they tried to comfort me. Especially Madame Cynthia that time, no, or Boame Adeyo. That time, no, no, so about kakra ye no, ye bet me and yes, or Boame or me cleaning mo, but or Boame so pan or minia ketwana sushemu. But I sorry for what crowd who can be. In my situation. And you know, I think that among my friends, and yet that much of a challenge.
Okay. And then I may be our question is say now say what this young money and then so during that period no now who face be a difficulties be what this young
my this young money dear and then I can say me school and nurses for no normal ba ebe share menu aketwa, but omo ba no so a omo man that during the day no sa nti no be sa na jo na ona ina ya anajo ona no so na so stay awake na wo hwe baby, meanwhile wo no ese so sorry anopa e go school you know asakola no be go school na ese wo da any ade nti no we lose concentration bebre, but the boy amene say na afe na me free Ghana ba into no sa me first year no na afe na me kra master to school no 1 month, which a language school into no the boy amene say na a language school into no na and share that yet to say Michael Diana no what high school that I know necessary or koye na exams ne ade into na me no na afe na mission language into na ye no you share that any exams in here because now you just language. Into no me no minya sa lock and say me breaks kra no a mamba school ni ade no man share that me si be brace because now you language school na me wo na and share that any serious school a master te. Into no na that time no so na Madam Cynthia no so ono so free Ghana by nche. Into no na me na we the same class. Into no homework bi a me si bia no na Cynthia no so mama and Cynthia no try so be me homework na mama because no ni me situation into no Madam for no Cynthia no so boa me bebre at that time no, but school wise na dey na attention na me ntimi nya too much concentration at school, but luckily for me no na just language school that time you know bibia me lose you in those months no me timi your friend saying me timi reconnecting myself bm etimi back to school after a couple of months I started free bibia me stop you know etimi ko me tentem yeah.
Okay, that's the pa Mrs. Saluti. So we shall call 13 years I will do 2 months na ne mama etimi ko no free mu just say affecting me brain when addition the way I will see can to Mr. say a man no mama any opportunity no mama me no papa say no Mr. say won't take him addition so serious. And Mr. Alote, back to you. I want to ask you the same question. During that period, did you face some difficulties in your studies?
Oh, definitely. First of all, your focus is not on school at that moment. Your home is now your first priority because your mother is in pain, you're in pain. Your brothers, sisters, in my case, my little sister too. She was just 3 years old. She has no idea what is going on. So my focus was not on school. And due to that, at that time, I think I was in the secondary school on the path to, I think, 2 to 3 years to graduate to go to university. So the school gave me all the space to like, okay, recover, make sure you're okay before we will require you to come to class and all these things. So because of that, I lost a lot of, I missed a lot of exams. I think it was the 3rd semester and the 4th semester. I missed exams. I did write a couple, but not all. And so the school actually was about to decide, because of the situation, we cannot let you go to the next class. So that's also a setback I didn't want to face again. So my mom, went to school. We went to school together to sit with the teachers to resolve this. Like, this is the situation. You cannot, punish him on top of this, So the school understood and they came with a compromise. Like, okay, we can let you continue to the next class, but only if you write your missing exams in the summer holidays. And so it was like 3 months after my dad passed, I had to reset my mind, focus back on school, because although I was in a bad situation, I didn't want it to affect my future, and the reason why is that because it was also instilled by my dad, like, hey, no matter what you do, make sure your education is number one. So I just forced myself to focus back on the subjects I missed on that level, and I wrote them in the summer holidays. So before the new year started in September, I completed it all. Luckily, I passed it all. So I could continue class with my same friends, in the same class. So from there on, it was, of course, there were still challenges to focus on school, but at least the pressure was not there as such. So I could mourn my dad's loss and focus on the exams when necessary. So I got back to routine gradually, little by little. So I think that was in the beginning my biggest challenge, to focus back on school. Although your home it's a disaster, so that really requires some determination on a child's perspective, from child's side.
Okay, so were you able to achieve your dreams?
I still dream big. From where I'm coming from and things I've been through, I would say yes. I'm glad with where I am, and I've reached a lot of goals, and I think I can be happy with what I have achieved. And of course, dreams, I'm still dreaming big, so we will see what goes. So, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Aluti. And Mrs. Aluti, me pacho commercial break. Na question me bisa ukunu so me pese me bisa wonso. That was so upon the way I was struggle to say when young ketwa one one be mama akola ketwa 13 years so when him left and right. Now also to me achieve dreams because enye easy. Say baby umame ko na we free. Now 13 years now be mother. Who's now brother ketwa bi so I think Eric now 4 3. Now o papa so san o. Nti won so to me achieve dreams.
I know I can say yes and no. It's answer school wise and meeting me course and I'm person me but edwuma me pese me ye no de me nyanduru ho.
Okay.
Yeah, the enti America say yes and no. No, nature say yeah, me ankasa me dream say na me pese me ye family law lawyer. Enti America yes and no say me call law school no area.
Okay. Very good.
At the moment, and then America say yes and no.
Because they have taken responsibility.
Oh, please, sorry for the distraction. No problem.
But
Doctor has advised.
50,
But after commercial break, on education, Mecca, the reasons behind my choices. Commercial break, and I will explain.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Salute. Eda, say advert ready,
Okay, before we go to commercial break, we want to ask this question because this question was last week, and I think it's very necessary to ask. I think it go both mostly for Brother Mark here, because last week you heard that because your father was had a good occupation, good job, so like the income that coming home is enough. So your mother was like a housewife, and he take care of you. So the question is that good to let your wife to be a housewife? Is that good? Because we don't know. Because the reason why I want to ask this why is like Muslim, the Muslim people, the Moroccan people, they don't want their wife to work. So I always am thinking, if something happened, what next? So is that good to let your wife to be like a housewife?
Okay, thank you for the question, and I think it's a very good question, because what I believe is that both parents need to work together and also be independent at the same time, because you don't know what will happen in the future, and if something would happen, I would want to be assured that my partner will be capable of taking care of the family, and being a housewife limits that on your partner's side. So I would really recommend, like, no, both of you should make sure that you have an occupation, you have something to fall back on in case something happens. And secondly, too, it's not also good for the development of your partner. You need to make sure that she is known and she knows how the system works in the country. She's involves herself in with the let's say the how do you call it, the system. She knows what's needed when at least she's independent when you are not around. So I wouldn't really advise families to be in a couple relationship where one is a housewife or not. One thing also, although my mom was a housewife, my dad also advised me on is make sure, especially before he died, when I was growing up, make sure when you choose a woman, she is not only capable of taking care of your home, but she has some kind of trade or education or something that will make both of your life easier, because two incomes can make sure that your family will grow in the direction you want your family to grow. The vision you have for your home, it can be achieved easier if both of you can contribute financially in this case. So if you want to achieve your dreams as a family, I think both sides should contribute in order to achieve your goals. So I wouldn't really recommend being a housewife, but sure, I can understand there will be situations where it's maybe unavoidable.
Yeah, the same question will go to audience. Yeah, because I see Auntie Ajua want to say something, but like Auntie, let me come in. Like,
no problem.
We have some women. The men wanted to have something to do, but they say I have too many children, and in Africa, when you marry, you have to be able to take care for your wife. What advice are you going to give to these ladies? At the same time, also this question also the same time, you have some women also don't want to work, but the men also don't allow them to work. So, what advice are you going to give to them, both of us?
Well, for the men that that don't want their women to work, my question to them will be: do you have your wife's best interest at heart? Because working, it's not like fine. You can say that as a man, I can take care of my family financially. You don't need to work. You don't need to bring in financially. I can take care of that. You just focus on the kids. But in a life, there's more than just taking care of a home. A woman also wants to socialize. Being in a working environment also makes her develop herself, makes her see things and come with ideas that would even benefit the family. So there's more to it than just bringing in income. So I believe if you want to help your wife also grow personally, you should also let her explore and get out there, get a job, socialize, learn new things, develop herself, educate herself in ways that will bring in, benefits to the family.
But let me add to it. There is this thing. You, the woman, before you came into the marriage, who were you before you came into the marriage? Did you have a goal for yourself? Did you have an educational background? What did you want to achieve for yourself before you came into the marriage? Because after the children are out, because we no say what will be brave into non-quality in a housewife. But one gasa band bisa who said, Sankolano moyem penny, na omu free awariana sia. Are you meaningful to yourself? As I say, bisa me son faso on saying, say in Colano, and a year men go in being in that marriage. Now Colano na year will first awariana sia. Nature say a zero. Because all they will go out there and pursue their own goals and dreams. Into war ban, who one can say, into as a woman, you have to be valuable to yourself. Your life has to have a meaning. As I say, we are resourceful. Say, baby, are you contributing to the society? Who ye do my company be a epema economy no ako anymore. Into no. As I said, we need to stop using children as the reason why we are home, not doing anything. And yes, hello?
Mo waka say ye.
It's
and yes, I know in Kolano, every hour I say omo juma no kwa. Not just one person who swing in for so be as a woman. And I remember no so omo person omo year no etina fear because of that, Me who say, like Michael said, who knew what your best interest? Because who person will you know at the end of the day, no, or ye independent. Say, China build one sorry. Say now ye jan ho. Obetimia shonkolan, or where you my papa be obetimia fall back on Anna. As long as say both of you are married couples, no. As I say, any decisions both of you take, no. Many Michael say you take a decision. We have to make sure, say, does it benefit me? Does it benefit my husband?
That's
say,
right.
If it benefits one side, that we will not take that decision. It has to benefit the both of us, because only that, in a sense, yeah, we are teaching them something. We are teaching them how to become a team. how to take good leadership, how to make good decisions together as parents, because charity begins at home. So taking decisions, that means who as a mother, no one say bia, or no warrior. So our choices determines the future we will have tomorrow. And it also, it has an influence on what the children are seeing in their marriage. And no matter what, we have to make sure, say, whatever decision we take inside the marriage, it has to be teamwork. Marriage is teamwork. It has to be teamwork. Who says a bear man any swadi who no the abano ni vision, war bano vision shiano halfway. Because Bible see oyeti, but oyetia, he has to have a vision. Michael any vision, I me as I say, me mission, I say no, I may submit, so any vision, I mean dinechi, because he is not going anywhere. Into so no vision, and I mean meeting ya submit, and I say, let's go this way. I agree. But I have to make sure no say ni vision no one any media no eshia never boy me no. Very important.
That's good. Auntie, but for Oma Pio Mansana, now you toss in the platform so I come up.
Adam Pachona Manasaso.
I did it kind of Auntie Adua Lizzie.
Oh, Adua. Okay, Adua Mama, my story, so if I told me I can.
Yo, my story.
Changing lives.
Yo, mad boys are coming to Bema about if they say, Bema, yeah, one papa with your mom come on, yeah, not for Donna, only man, you too much. And you know, and what you want was what you see, man. Now, once what done my own person to do more, don't mammy, because who said, my yet maybe be as a Pens and mammy are coming, were winning in It's a one so bad, we say, oh, say, or your young, I won't see your young come. But say, what we say, bear man, a man, most of them had your man, more, what a couple man.
Oh. And this on Mike, you know.
If I piano, or Doma Mameno, in Tiana, a ma warrior back on to ma, a man be warrior. There be a man bomb by a funny say, or Massimo Bay. Or baby, mammy, baby for that. But or baby, say, or your baby for. In tennis or the 2-3 say, men are not can ask me was say or bar, who was and oh, baba, that they be out about a man who fee. Intimate straw. Said, yeah, why you can ask something say, the mammy and I be any baby only we are seeing. Into one son or done mammy, I want to done mammy. The more I done mammy, my son, so I be done, but my warrior no actually. Said ya woman, would be Diama woman swinging almost have a fast aquano so. Maybe my mechanic say, oh, by now what, also what 13 years, like I say, Usa, and now mammy would yaw. A man should do 13 years in one or honor, mammy, for church of once, and Maya the way, yes, who pie, now a mouse so about which Maya so we say, once you say, so we say. Now, oh, mammy, we know. A quite best so now, wo fast so with me, see. Number 2, I don't know me last say you say. Obi a watu obasra wo mami hu mami ache. Na ye ne Africans for the ye need just spiritual things ho. Na uba ye na nche na wo mami ewu. Say na is ho sa kra otu kwan abewu ba ya nche wo mami wu. Na uba ye na nche na mami wu. Say na so tifa waso. Mpa cho me question na me bisa no.
Mami.
Mrs. Alote, what the questions now say?
I mate questions.
2 questions.
And you know, now me best me opportunity. Actually, Michael, the other kind, but me catch no.
Oh, okay.
First question, no. Now, what's say? Oba who si famane. Me no. Me wo Ghana no misua bebre efri me nana ho esanse me nana no na one me papa man penin 40 dada na like no na sure mo ntino na me hu sa ade no dada na o kire o mo oba chi ma say na say wo ye say na say wo siesie o ho ne ade nti sa anwoma no nkasa de na minnim ansa na me ba abrochire Into no drew on my shed and surprise. So meaning me left and right that because they be an anaka say, Sion, now nim a da ube here. Fine, yan drew me so dear, but they be an no can even a diana yamum pono, me started sending me a dianami 8 years. Because no so inquire not begina home or fufu a begina hontino. They be an umpono na your friend is saying neighbors for near the omka so now swadodo. No so there be manisia. Into no mianga sano me babro cheno na de it still quine in yoma kakanka crack our kitchen dear na me left and right that it's answer men I say men and nano or prepare me as an ameba. Into no sanyo money dear man she don't have that much difficulties. In a second question, no, mirror the second question. No.
The second question is say, Africa, you know, say you believe spiritual things, kakra. Na oba o maame ho na me fan say oba ya anche 1 year pra wanya na o maame ye de ewuye. Ebi be ka say oh o ma ya na maame okay. Na oba ya anche na maame ewuye no say na usi call no de o ti say o wasom say ya ka bibi e be ya wo ya say bi ya oba ya nche na o maame ewu no wo feel say
eno de mi ankasa de manti bibi wo masum bia na eya me yamum de meti ya ha me kakra na omo ka so papa no awaba ne nchen kra no enye ne papa inti no obetena ne nchen ana se obesan ko back na me na fofo kra no kanti no asem a meti wo masum no but obi anso obi sa me ho asem na nka gyan mo se hwe papa no wa fa me pan se ne ba eno ngina bebi akra nka nkyere obi se me ye ne step daughter da inti no me so me ngina bebi kra nka nkyere obi so ye me step father da me nene tina ye almost 17 years no me ngina bebi kra nka so ye me step father wo bebi ada inti no do yi kire me in the beginning no me ngina bebi aka se on time na so wa fa me se ne banko ade a me ni bebi akọ metina ne nchen because we yi odo akire me but say nkrofo kan ho asem ensem bone ni ade de media ankasa de man tibibi sa wo maso de me ankasa no me na hia me ne say oh ye be okay ya na me den ahwe me no me den ahwe me busua eno na me focusing on say Ghana for the no matter what asem bone ba on be kan ni ade but obi na Ghana asem bi ani ho aye di na afi omo be ka 1 month no mo ejai Inti no I know the mi ankasa de ma sheda ntibi mo but ebi kra o say no omo kan ya omo be bro omo be jai inti no but as in spirituality ni ade de man ti ho asem bi da na mi ankasa no ma adwen kra ankoko ma na yeah no Nyamiadom, I was not busy with that.
Now, me sharp, I had me taking this opportunity. Now, so big ups to her because at the age of 8, now I said, Nyami bo abon or Nyami bo ni friend I'm saying no abon e bo afo. I'm saying Nyami na onim because on Nyami akasa no boy because I was share age. Now we don't even say we the young mama do beba. But answer one not church on your be it will buy no there's a new difficult to say. Just say 13 years. One would get me to me. But give they met or there's a taking this opportunity to say Yami almost far or don't young Brassian no keep on his eye. Now me say Yami obestra. Now or da when you dear ma papa give to say Yami best more her papa. No, I should know because we have firstborn Yami. First one we should be a way of Yame on farm. Let's show papa. Pa, and Yame obey okay, see at see. And I'm going to be a man and such.
Mr. Bright, the man is so we are never mama points.
My story.
Changing
lives.
The now couples also almost a meeting a one Mera Hokakra. Na me kai say the no shane you find ye 50 years I am me we can use na yanyine papa wi akra na ye wo kra sisi akra ye wo kwa na yanti na Mr. Restaurant yi we de omu awie a omo se omo wo ha no omo edwindwin kakra na me da nyame ase so se onyame so aso omumu na de me ka cho me se de onyame o maame ene omo parents no efiri ho no na onyame aso omumu no onyame be koso aso omumu ombe koso so ayekese enti masama mbesa me kan say aware for yena yeba na me anim ni nanka awo no ka be wo mo awo pa de mu se amofra kama yase no mo dosu pa amofra aka meyire susu yam so mo dosu na ye de se ke ya wo mo pa meyire se ya wo no ba ko pe ya wo no ba ko pe na de kwa ye se ye ntimi anwo dudu no ekoye adwuma ena abocha ye ba ye no na me pese ka me wife obeye housewife na me maye adwuma me retia na meka na they up to date for me catch no ya twitwa we kwa ka jense still me pese on selfie na me nya adwuma na me hwe no me ankasa otia na meka me ka jense ono so me de me bank card ebe ma no onye box te say de ana abofo na ye no adekoja meka san say emofra no wo me say na ayi mo fasi no kasa kakra say say onipa bia no say utimi as a we housewife for so timi ba so say as utimi bibi do ka no eno no ewo ho na emom no mani baji won say bia wo betimi awo bebe bia 4 na butu ahwe ma meka say awo no say planning awo no 4 and 5 and 6 na wotimi ahwe wo mo a say mbofra ni nyinyini na so mo so etete mo no mo kokora no a so far as bia wukunu aye adwuma oye housewife no menim say ejapa dia eno ne ye problem no oba no ebeka say bia obese we ne japa dia be ma no ebeka so obese we ne ejapa dia why me ire abusuafo beka say me gine enfamra me so me abusuafo beka say enfamra enti na ama say ye ma ma be 3 omo ntimi ama wiase ni na ye
anti translate ma brother ba ke why translate ma no
o translate
adwuma montimi ne mani abro
ye te wuti pa ye se anti di on translate ma brother ye kasa pa ye te mo ne
on translate ma no na mani abre pa enti de pesa me kan say akwanya wo ho say afa na obi ware na say obetimi ama ne yiri ana ni bia ne obose your man bi wa o ma ko school o ma dwuma no say oya dwuma obenya good income it is oban o hwe na so oban benya good income there na say oban na wo na say be man betimi atira efie ahwe emofra no so enso eya dwuma e say me ankasa me wo abusua bi wo ho a me wo fase ono no na dwuma na o ye no onya good income ndi o ma ni kuru atifi a wo hwe fie ene o ma tom nice house o ma tom new kaka e say me hwe o ma life na dey me ka che mo fase say men kas dachi enkoja ba bi nkase wo na odu oyi adwuma na say wo kunu antimi amwa utimi enko wani so what I say enti me hu bi da say say eno kwa the husband housewife and am kan say mo fa yisho we so what I say enti the mesra platform you say eno na e dey kan say Morocco for ni ada straps no mutimi wo more 4 5 6 ama yen Ghana for no especially no yen Ghana for platform no so yetimi who gas this are you two no omo be who 3 chale yamano is it sabi enyansafo no omo na akeka yam no etimi mo body ani yen produce so me so onyame obeboa na second so obeto we housewife say my friend go school obetimi pa adwuma ba bia 4 hours and now 2 hours aye me dey say me ba wie no hwe minim ema no oma wo no ye ni bi na ye adwuma say ye adwuma kwa na no fi be no o twa telephone mopo na ye ja nkwa no ofie na gas nya ha adwene e na nipa so ye nya free emema ye wo platform so mo me ye fa yi mo ye ni ye nyina ti say de papa ne ma me gina ye omo ware ye ma me no ma omo ye housewife ne ye show mo do me pe be fa mo be fa bank contact ni mo omo no me so tom My story.
Changing lives.
Form.
The old kind of Matthias, but oh, honor.
Yes.
Who name baby because it's a couple brave or any because of a Japadia ebusian for abeje from.
Good.
Yes.
You know, essence ye nima the chance 17 na ye ka say you good so ban so be ye juma. Fine, say ye na ye tia say no say me kunu be di 100 years and the hallelujah metin na. But who ni obi ni mo e anything I say we try say we yire no ebe independent because the now can ebusuan asem we ya can to Michael mame because Michael brothers Michael papa ninu no mo mema no papa ni wu ye pe na omo ba fie ho no omo ankasa no omo ni omo brother enya fan but owu ye pe omo nim se Phillips anya bia Phillips bema compensation esika beba owu ye pe na ebusuafo no bo omo ano eba mesesa lote fie ho se ejapade no esese ye na ye che because na busua na ye woman no be ye ha because no ye housewife.
Good.
You know, actually 70 in a year cancer, but no ni mu dia anka housewife ni house husband they are choice. I know the who really sika ina na say oh meshe me area. I know say you have a good intention, but Senator Frache udana one sorry God forbid o yire ebe bre o ma ebe ti nsuo enu ti na ye cancer same way. Abrochire no life no ye different say they work no bia no wa jankola ne ho wa kwakotina baby o chat telephone ade. There are women now almost no like they are more responsible almost taking care of nkola no they can still have let's say a part-time job and unya kwa say be a full-time job timi cry a part-time job na watimi focus on the children emrofofo no show mo concept no a say oba bi wo protimi tina fi 3-4 years. Na ni CV no there is a huge gap e won in CV mo but ne manager penny for pe na wasan picking a CV asan start e ko pay juma e san se e china 70 se ni kunu ni ho a obetimi ahwe nkola but nyankopon de onu nanim ye de ankasa ye nipa de ye nim enuntia inti de bia 70 ni ankasa e ye good but to say na wo kan wo fa se na asem no say almost peacefully no be 100 years no almost and they can take care of their children and ikuno etifie na bibia yoke dia eye choice if there is enough money to say the Michael papa say no we scam and na yere hu hia so be kwa adwuma
yes I know
am to wan kwa adwuma but man ni wu ye no na if a dying kakura no nim say the yetua na wo yira ye ha onim ne left and right. Sa panic no sikane be wo but oba no wan channel the left and right still no obekita but obi baba be jefre nsem because onim the left and right it is very important to say baby bianca cry say o yire nim no de say wo kire no na watimi ehu the left and right say jumem kakra say 4 hours kra no be na day kra na watimi creating your own independence here enu ni hia and no one sem na ye can but a choice. Me say I meti hano. So Michael ka say maintenance here because at the end of the day no nejuma etimi to your high in our bills. But there is no way I maintenance here because I want my own independence. Me pemianka sa mi sika say me buy no me so fa so ni say na meti me bu amikunu. Meti me dem say bo me bo say eye mejuma because udru baby na for the omo kan ho asem a unni ahodin bia because we sika nim. But ono no to me jina baby nka say yeah say ya to dan ya me ma ho odin nim on to me jina baby nka da because me share won be and no asem and no na hia and no asem na ye ka but that the oka no me tiasia completely I believe say it is a choice.
Wow.
My story.
My story. Oh,
Maybe that question about
Mama Bajo, Chacho Mama Bajo, yeah, my Mr. A, Mama tells
Well, you man, now again, was it over? I know 30 years. Again, not you will be a panty.
Ja.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Willie Wafaba.
Again, you're perfect. Martina, so you're Mr.
My story. Me digi sister ne pa just say some more Kenya ye no kre. Because me hu obi a ye si na ne yire no eye midwife e wo Ghana. No de ni ba brochire ha. Oba e no be wo to aso a be ye 4. Wa ma oba na anya adwuma edru ma bi no na ware gu aba. Unim se be ma ne se oba na ba ye no wa ma ye adwuma nti na dwapade bi ne wa oka ho. Enti se wo ye oba na se wo kromu a se wo manko ade a per 4 hours job na ye. Na kakra wo de be support ukru na de support no. Na se wo so betra fie kura eno de be ha adwen. Se wo de bank contact yi ma no edru so di na wo be hu se no ne nam. Wo beba no okoto nwura abegu fie. So enti oye busy a ono so be hu se dwuma no ne ye no eya into o sesika obadwu hu yie. Inti me ne abayo ano eye me ne na dwen eye pe de me papa aka na eye Ghana o Ghana de oto na so nya adwuma a wo ba mi housewife anu na brochire apa housewife de no kra ne nyame anim eden inti me support no 100%. Amen.
Amen. Wow. Yeah, from Mama Posh. Mama Posh de casa.
Gina Posh.
One in town, me that one see
city.
Yemu. And oba give teacher say, I dreaming him there nyame dia man what is so. Oh yeah, one in town.
No size.
I dream kura wono. Sebi mpanyifo akuku dam kura bi. Be dia me kire ne say nyame onko so antre musim. No ma odo. Pray ye onzimo asanti o ye nyina ye dia. Be ofri bia ye nyina ye benefit. Ye da sodo. Enti nyame sra mo na de empesem de kan ho ye housewife asem na o chire mo no kresem trudu na sompo papa ka senkremofue Arabs o mo yire mo ye housewife ebinom so yen Ghana fo nipa dodo sempo ne timi be anoka che yire se be a housewife nipa dodo se abrochire ha sebi enya yade bi ne bete wato ho ena aban beka se enya adwuma ebi okunu be support say yesi me enya adwuma nti odi etine fia chese wono this can be ma card said the papa can be ma mo akopini pini no e kire biem obehu games bi odi be wura fi obehu one way your friend to be there
more fire
and to be there oh let's get that oh enti no cross some ne say wo ye wo ba na se bi ukunu timi to maw okoba ye de kura pe bibi kakra ye. For the sake of your children, share your manner and no more fear no. Say they be ankurani pe bibi na ko papa ho, ko mama ho, they will timi afford no. Akurani kwani ho de bia ko jiske free ho a wo ho partner no omu te. Omu ba ko say kura because on him say obebu say bibi e ne maame no nkwa na de be ma. Onim so bebusa bibi your papa nkwane be na aware na wote ase no ana as a mother or father no oso mfaso pa sabi anything so when enti ceremony de ye nyina say ye ka say be a housewife enka ye 100% good na efie adwuma na ye no kra edin sen sabi nke bia be ko 8 hours ana 4 hours but to say wa ye ka say wa hu hie mu wa hu siesie mu wa die bi a wo pere e ma die bi wa anye ni nyina na ye ta ebo ye kunu mama ne enye bibia na betumi akwaje card so de koto
yes
edrumre bi busama kuma edrumre bi ya ka chem sam nya adwuma papa o mo ka chem sam tim koye 4 hours so me nya hwe me se masa ye ne de me nkoyo enso na me no awa ache kwa asori me ye bo fruit kwa asori me ye donut me ye kebab o tia me so me se masa e was me feeling me body nim say body ne so ye bibi ofie etimi to nsuo kura be fie a metimi afford bibi so unti say o ye sebi oba nyansafo oba mapa na sekwan bi da wo ho say enipa ne for so sebi tina fie kura me pa cho proof kire ne say wo so pese wo support ye ba ne kan bibi say e bedru ba bi na japade na e wo ho no na ye ba be yi wa firi mo de ye we e de na ade boaye ma be ma ne nkosia obi a ne hu gina so e me ma ne nkosia obi a sabi wo feel say ne do na pache kakra kofa ho e wo no obekyere wo nipa kro na nim say oba no ono oba onye ahiro awo na obe wo ye onye me dan am see yon ka ho we nka ho satam no sorry to say say no why you stupid intimate sremo yen futu na ye ba ne no ni kru ne de ma ye no yen fa ne so mo ye nkola nyansa de ye sese bi ye wo bakwasia no ebe nyansafo na bakwasia te ho o sade ne nso adwene no de ma ye no yen nyina fa kakra ntoto yokotodwem na daate aboa ye de tu ye ne ye ma nyina afo me de wo ye housewife ne okuru betimi atori ase nyina ama wa eye but try to do something me futu kakra am de be ka ho no
kuma nyamisha opa me de kakra ka ho esa se ye hwe ye bible a nyina yesia kra wo se ma ye me ma na boafo to oba de at least wo ha try say wo betimi ye bibi wo se wo be bo ho so because I wouldn't grow to cry now to me a juma boa be man one abrabon mo ko banim two be man kwa respect pass respect o say one o your babo afo sabi oni wo kra na wo betimi take good care of enkwala no no to oba de at least say o man kra na wo betimi sabi na me be yikan 4 hours kra na me ma for my full time since they started me my full time and Isabella be 18 years. So when you saw her now one day you can make it. So we need to at least kakra na and my respect. Na say wo pemoko wo pentos na bibia na na be ma ho de nya me anim ni wo ba na kra na esa na respect no kra no e ba form na ekomi anso nipa ba ko income no enye easy. Enye esa kra brabo no ntimi nkomani. Yeah, that me pato so be man and so as and so better.
Yeah, man and so and program no conquer pa Mrs. Obi ma so a ka say man story ba ye suno mo bebre. Yeah, she program you can say program you lawyer for ba. Yeah, man me give to two no o full lawyer. Aha. It no time come as man platform be mama or better law okruma. To a full lawyer no the age ni dey e no be seke but agina dem team no lawyer for agina. It's my gift to Yamisha, Brother Michael. Thank you so much. Say the name no. If you ever found Mama Jamila man is also, Brother Settman is also. Young father, I could tell me. Yeah, I can't do it. I drink a bobber. Say, why do you move by? Or because I was saying, say, I didn't need you mind for your neighbor. There be, and then what you need you mind. Say, oh, but so to be every channel. Now, Obi may yell 149 or liar. Young say about or China ho. Already, say we are to make grandpa or best for the abrel. Or so dressing now or some cano. Ni papa, ni mamma, and a young leader or Kumasi. Where the manager or experience. And say open out to a baby free China. Now the bagana. Men so be say trip star service. Offer now. The Tibiano or Bedu Mama or come out China ho. So we want ship more bedroom or best for Abrel. So we don't go Ghana Swa or the Bokama. A being to say the Akano. Ghana for your no money, papa. Share Ghana for your no my own a papa and say, Gale, Galena, ya muno. China for the share Gala or my boss on the camera. I'm so old Gala, open never A, but B, there be all bois, ya no more fa. It is now, yan to ye no, the China for that day, I didn't qua. Mrs. says, open Kua best Laman Watus. Ah, then so be ebekwa. Nanu avocado. Ninkuno. What they have buy any pepper and I. It's a wool strapper and my only producer kama. Then as Nanka rather say, Wadum nim debre. And your uncle. Here, Mama Jamila so. Also uncle. Or spicy or the year Gianni. Eti yam one if you know, who told the dear for Mama Jamila, friend and no man that's one. Or best any abrel. So friend Nanusua, also best any abrel. Hey, 50-50, the crackwa, never crackwa, now balance it. The shepherd for Musua, not a swire day. Mama Jamila, they mean that's one. Efe, or 2-4, the dance dinner to one. A bit and a mama Ivasana. And you know, a year so Mama Jamila, what's the camera? Who said, and Rubiso Wasana. Hey, what's that? When you're so bay. It Mr. said, who Mama Jamila and our Mama Nanu, now winning Copansana. Never went to my near me, one was room. Say, open up life for look, say we African lady. Idea match and bonnet. Mimi two way. Obi so that the other no to court for the board and miss me. Me quote you know, ne one at the farm until baby a whole for a broco. Ofre the confabrica. Mr. Obenyanta, the end pabwa, nebo F4 at the amount. Yet is here, so be my swa, me too one different say, Jumadi, after the chassis, after I had it. It didn't antiva, Yemen see another young mamma Jamila Quaye, now also on Casa.
Okay. Auntie Jamila, my story.
Auntie Jamila, so Mike and my say,
my story.
Mama.
Changing lives.
My story.
Changing life.
Me mamu nyina mo good evening o me pamacho me nsem Sundays na ya me mixing tea me nsem aye makakra me ntimi so am no me pacho this is a very interesting topic and niewu mu so ne say me mama contribution be kakra me say as the only Muslim on this platform no I really feel like I'm a part of this family. The love and everything is massive. Just a minim say Messi I explain in a cry. I mean sure will be what platform is so.
Amen.
Na this is being the only Muslim. The only thing I understand minimally say Islamic religion, any Christian religion, similarities bebre. It's almost like the same. Similarities bebre ewum. Eba who being the head of the family is and who being under whom. Yes, so you're practicing the same submissiveness, but in the modern day, no submissiveness, no assisa kakra. Assisa in such a way, say, gone were the days Saubeka said the husband should do everything. But in this modern times, no, Sisasanya Obiya did a contribution by and no any jumasa, especially in this system. And housewife, you know, so it's an individual thing. It's not a religious thing, an individual thing. Because Islamically, so you will be a friend of marital contract. Marital contract.
Auntie Jamila, let me say until one can.
So near woman, it involves near Obandeda. This and move future together. It is a woman, you are the working type. You say it even before the marriage. Emma Ukunuti as you say, Obawe ame warini, or your baby or pese, or your activity be or ye be kakra.
Wow.
And there is something in marriage, a minia by can once them, it's called compromise. So a hono, Bemano etimi ebemu eka say, okay, my penis will be a juma, but who is saying, what do you want to do? Is it your own business you want to start? And that's how I say we are a juma and
Auntie Jamila Mpacha until one can.
that will be. And I say, what's your own son? Which may be these Moroccans and other things. Let me say, no, no, cultural something. But Islamically, no, a woman is allowed to make her own money. A woman is allowed to get her own property. And a woman is allowed to decide, say, she is not going to do hand-in-hand property with her man. So on pair. Because near Beman, he being the head, but if a woman decides to keep her own finances, also no choice, Islamically. But logically, no. So you can't just sit down and watch your husband say he's doing everything. Now, you feel even bad, say you are not contributing. Because you are in this journey together. Wow. To me. So I feel, say, our husbands, our Ghanaian husbands, have to understand, sit down with us, communicate. Oh, I will still be the wife you want me to be. Ebia or baby or what? Work is taking too much of her time to the extent that she can't even focus on the family. Maybe Sana Mema also, the way they look at it, they don't want to lose you as mother of the children. I say as wife. Maybe why you're too busy to the extent say unya time and maomo. And you know, I think it's a communication thing. You to me communicate or bad in view ba. Okay, Juma, what do you want to be? What are your dreams? We need our men to support our dreams because whatever it is I go out to become as Obano is to your benefit as Beemano. nyina ye benefit ene ede na ye fe sene say eja bosuma akoneti kakra watua dan ka watua we ebia be ma ne ho akire kra obi mema mostly omo ho kire omo kra omo ani wo so mbeka kire omo yere say omo ho akire omo. But at the end, first thing say you will come to your husband and say, "Oh, I know you are going through something. It's been, a long month. Can you please take this to support yourself?" Wouldn't you want that as a man?
I will.
You would love to be supported, even if you didn't ask for it. You would love to be supported. So I feel, say, there should be more communication. We should have each other's interest at heart, like the way my younger sister said. We should have each other's interest at heart. And when it comes to kids, so I think everybody has a choice as to how many kids are because we are escaping reality here. My sister mentioned death. There is death. Let's not escape that reality. There is sickness. God forbid, we don't want it to happen to anybody, but let's not escape that reality. There is job loss. Let's not escape that reality. There are difficult times. So as a couple, if everybody is earning individually, not with the intention of say, if they are working together, like she said, decision be why you make it together. You drop it. But if it is going to help the both of you, I think the teamwork and the compromise, understanding easy. Na bema ne will say, oba we de enye ni interest nkwa like opese oboa me. Oh, bema we so enye ni interest nkwa opese oboa me. Then you, the wife, also have to see, okay, how am I going to combine work and family? Let me make time for husband. Let me make time for kids and still be the boss lady I want to be.
Wow.
Because God has blessed us. We can multitask. And remember, bibi kakra like, oh yeah, they can get confused. But women, my fathers, women, we are blessed in such a way. Say, oba me say me business, and I'm doing something at the same time, taking care of the kids at the same time. But Bema is not nyame and creative Bema star. Even when God created Adam, God knew say Adam needed Eve. Adam couldn't do it all by himself. And mesre your fathers, your husbands, support us. Understand, say, whatever we are going out there to look for, it's not for our own benefit. It's for the both of us. If we compromise, we communicate, the future will be brighter. Our kids are looking, they are learning. Oh, I am from the typical African home. Papa does everything. Mama is just there. No. It doesn't mean Mama is useless, but Mama also wants to be the role model for her daughter to see that I can be a mom, I can be a wife, and I can be a boss at the same time.
Thank you.
So that is my only contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Continue.
Continue, Auntie. Continue.
Oh, okay. Mr. Alote. Hello, Mr. Alote.
Hello, yes.
Please, I want to ask you, what is your education level? And what did you study in school?
Sorry, my throat.
No problem.
What is my education and what I studied in school?
Yes, the level of your education.
Yeah,
what did you study in school?
Yeah, I have a master's degree in accounting.
Wow.
So basically, from the age of 16, you already have to choose a direction. So from young, I found I always wanted to, wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but it was either something like engineering or finance. So during my education, I got to understand more about the world, what's my interest, what I'm good at. So I decided to specialize in accounting. And once I graduated my master's, I started working as an auditor. What you do as an auditor is actually by law, firms from a certain size have to make a financial reporting to present how well the firm is doing, what is going on behind the scenes. This for investors to make a decision of whether it is a firm I can invest in, or maybe banks, whether it is a safe company to loan money to, because the returns are good. So, but because of the gap of information, you never know what the company is actually revealing. It's true. The auditor steps in to investigate everything that is reported, whether it's actually true. So we indeed go through all the financial documents and information at the company. So I travel from company to company, and we investigate, and if we agree, we send out a report to attach to their reports so that all other stakeholders, so banks, investors, or whoever, can say that, okay, this information is trustworthy. So that's, in a sense, the job I do. And now I'm now working as a financial controller, in which I am responsible of all the financial processes, information within the firm. So I contact all different departments, sales and marketing, research and development, to make sure that the firm is financially in control, and work together with the financial director to prepare reports to inform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what were your biggest challenges during your education? Your biggest challenge? Yes.
I do remember that I had a tough making a decision on what direction I want to go in, and I think the fact that I lost my dad made it tougher, because I felt like as a kid you don't know what's out there, you don't know the opportunities, you don't know if you choose A, it will lead you to that path. And I think an adult, a father, or someone that actually has more life experience than you can help with that decision. So I struggle with choosing exactly my education path. So I switched a couple of times, like I said, either engineering or finance or accounting. So I think that is what I missed during my education period. The fact that if my father was there, he could support me, I could talk with him, brainstorm with him, because he has already walked that path way before me. So that was, I think, maybe what I struggled with. Yeah.
Okay.
I was be a disadvantage Accra. I would name him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay. Please, I want to ask you this question. Why is education important? Why is education important?
Well, I think the most straightforward answer that everybody would say is, if you have education, it will help you get a job. But I think there's more to it than just getting that job or good position. Education makes sure it enables actually us to contribute in society. Because if you are well educated, if you are not even if you are educated, you will learn problem solving skills that you can apply in your personal situation, in your home situation. So you learn skills that will help you in your decision making. Like, for example, you have struggles at home without, for example, people. Okay, a simple basic question. Basic, for example, is mathematics. What do you do with mathematics usually on a daily basis? It's not much, but mathematics equations that are drilled when you are a kid helps you think logically, helps you think critically. So, okay, if A, B can be the next step, C can be the next step. If C drops out, what can else happen? Are there other solutions? So it drills your mind to think in a certain way. And that can help you also in your private life, in the sense of, okay, I'm in a certain situation. If I go left, this can happen. If I go right, that can happen. What is the best outcome for me? So although you will not use mathematics, but your brain is trained in thinking of solutions, or thinking 2-3 steps ahead. And that's something education can give you, in this case, mathematics. And secondly, too, if you also talk about education, what does education actually teach? It's not true and poor, like, oh, you have now learned how to read, you're educated. You have now learned how to write, you're educated. In all steps, it doesn't matter which level, whether it's to learn a trade or in the most complex theory in universities or something. What does education give is actually tools for you to now step into this world to create something for yourself in order to be, in this case, can be successful, financially sound, or at least to improve maybe society, because maybe you want to give back to the community. So these tools for you to think of new ways or other ways people haven't even thought of to make sure you can reach your goals. So education gives more than just jobs certainty, but it also makes sure that you are well prepared for any financial storms or situations that you might encounter in the future. And decision making, you can improve your decision making for yourself, for your family, for your home, because every decision you make will affect the people around you, also your kids. And that is also what you will instill in your children. So that's why I would say education is important.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aluti. Mrs. Aluti, and then I'm a wish ourselves so education background, just a level no saying. Na dear challenges and so now we see dear no dear pa na wo fam be a ultimate be do sa level so
yeah. Okay, into no my education level no a bachelor's of law into no me go and no I'm better me can before me go university no
Yeah, continue, please.
Nah, indeed, me ye penny na me dreams and me person me ye lawyer, and you know, me I achieve my bachelor's of law. Me specialize in family law.
Okay.
Dealing with cases of marriages, adoption, counseling. Now going forward to my challenges, you know, na law school, no, na ne boy den ye. And you know, me books and I to the big law books, you know, it be a 400 euros, 500 euros. And I author at least 7 books every 3 months. Wow. And you know, me law books and then me law education, no, na first 4 years, you know, none boy den year. And I brought chance, no, as so bobo sian. Now the go school. In the me bachelor's, you know, nana me person me me masters, but now me cannot quanim too much. Like I told myself, say, I think say me pose me masters, you know, na my year later. Because me ankasa me started juma na me boasika no kakra na materials because after I was fit wa bra boase no na after na wankasa as a young girl no fine work with studio but eka etwa ho hia you know that was not what I wanted for myself you know nyame adom ye into no ABN AMRO Bank hanom omuhu me education level ne me CV no almost but baby a wodru no obetimi aba ba ye adwuma ewo ABN AMRO Bank law department and you know almost fa me adwumam ewo law department you know bank and also the NHS and yeah family law cases now go handle but go handle financial crime cases. And you know, to say they may explain it last week, you know, no me some kind of financial crime detective ABN AMRO Bank. Sika bia no aye drug money bia bemu corruption money ni bia no fraud no men am trace sasika no ekodru bia ye betimi ache nipa kro no. And you know and I will be some answer no were you able to achieve your dream and I can't say yes and no. Yeah. No many jihod but many Michael ya discuss say fine. Mega Kotiaso, I am a master's. I am a full lawyer no family law lawyer no as I dreamt of no. But right now, Neddy, I cannot complain because maybe I'm a one also no a very good job actually.
Wow.
My challenges were indeed the student loan. That was my biggest challenges.
Okay. Now, I mean, besides question, besides Queen, I didn't know important. Education.
Michael Lacan, the most obvious ones, you know, say of course. Obia can say, oh, go school, obey good job, obey successful near there, but bring it like he was saying to the family life. Education, no, Emma will fit in. Will fit in the community. Baby, you don't feel lost. My team, no, you fit in. Because say I can't be good TV, so yes, bomb baby banana say one as education now, won't tell you all more can. It's not our life easier. It makes you to fit in the community. Say you can't say what you say, oh county sika, oh to make county sika, oh to me read and write, but the most important thing is so who parents and also a little bit of education man so and suffer too much because at the beginning when I watch room 1 2 3 when I watch room ABCD almost one kasana we parent no your main teacher more in school for because 1/3 of Akolan life was school but 2/3 no I will fear. Into know looking up to you as this kind of teacher and role model to teach them, to guide them through the right path. So who parents want some kind of education. I want to mean I want to mean giving some kind of good leadership. Into a very important say kakrabia obetimia ye bia as a parent no kakrabia obesua bia as a parent no besua no what me give you a child good leadership. I believe that after so modern high school no maybe mama maybe say obi say mama way there be because that time no they already know but almost so the left and right into education no just basic knowledge to fit in the community, to train up your children in a healthy way, to understand to develop yourself. Say me drew baby, I mean feeling lost. But yes, what in our office on education here? There be with daily routine education here. So problem where you're solving is say mefa A and mefa B. Problem solving. Oh boy, man also in thinking for themselves. Forming an opinion for themselves because to me so be na dream be no they be no be taking a decision man.
Okay.
They be no or you indecisive because on him the left and right. Education na boama unya common sense. So as I mean matter left or matter right but me opinion it helps you to form your own opinion. It helps you in critical thinking. Think for yourself. It helps you to make decisions for yourself. And not in education here. But and yes, so necessarily say wakakotena office on kwa. Very important for our daily life and personal life. in general.
Okay.
That is why education is important.
Okay, thank you very much. As I say, I was a Canadian school. I am Banamo, so no, somebody said, there's a money opportunity. No, yes, some say youth for no, so 1 year more. Start at least because give your buy no 13 years. Michael, I want to social qualification. That's a Michael. Me about it's a Michael. There, because me money, papa. The most I never full steps now, and I'm so no, and I'm wise. You see what you know. You give to me, but I say, single parent na erase you. Na just say what do you any mono? A quite ben I say of single parent. Your papa or fast so involved in who what do you anymore?
Single parents. Yeah, my papa dear. My funny say at that moment, you know, now I am so congested. The internal because why congested, they say, fine, yeah, no big family, colana dos, you know, to divide your attention to every child, you know. Most as a single man, no, on me nyeni na, but the ono involved in itself more say, oh, me wa exams so bisa me say ko saying me school more bisa say, oh, how was school? But on also who me struggles in law books in there, no sometimes you know who send a boy there man na utue be crampo, but na yemi no so no ya ho odi ntimi ya ban so ma miskasa you know. But he was there. He was there in the involvement. Say, kakra no betimi ebisa me na obisa. But even though I had wished to say, anka my daily routine no, anka be more involved, but when to me I get that much involved, and I think say that goes back to how I should advise the parents now. No say.
Because I want you to advise the parents. Some be involved or at least or bad school. It's a fair name call. We know baby come just say more ways say we go school more because we go for PTA meeting on COVID that. Yes, and the onim neba left and right. Send the banner pass it. Send then and the nothing. It's person we use this opportunity now advise young parents, you know, including me. What advice see young for involved with.
Yeah, that was basically what I was lacking. Say, as a parent, you know, say, and can make papa be involved in itself more because I don't know who say young Africa for no because of language barrier, you know, because so mentekas and you know, PTA meetings cry menko mentekas and you know, me ba ni school profile the ocean crown me but kakra na wo as a parent no betimi involve yourself even if English language no kra na wo beka kra no a make sure say wo beka English no atro mo because idea me hu ne say Africa for bebre wo ho a ye push omo ma no ama level B ni education level B a so lower sankomo parents ni involve omo ho a anka manesa wow no ba no nim se o ba no bia onimu ade on be your final year exams no e baba na teacher no advice ne say so oko low school ono the only kwan so obekọ sa high school no ankrofo na ikoni bi but who parent no who be nya sa letter no who nya ho hwe ohun to me ko school for ka say me ba no ne school ni meaning so true exams no wa pass inti eba ne sai ina mwetumi ama na advice ko school emfiti akola ne level all involvement into no but that this goes back to you being daily involved because so oba ni mu ade a wo ye involved daily na oba hu so oba na oni mu ade oba no so oni mu ade so wo ye involved na oba hu so oni mu ade into no so oye exams no oye final year exams no mo man no sa advice no to choose a profile na say sa level no mo dia man no say ya ubehu parent no say nyanso a ubehu because you are involved into no kakra bia upon school ba school to send a course so ni ade no PTAs mon try some beko PTAs say very important na one who say oba no ni weakness ni dan me more example because na menu aketo na me call ni PTA meetings. Na me call ni PTA meetings no mo ka say ya akola no ne dache no ekwo echire enko nanim. Inti no na me ba fie no na me ka say ya efie ya kanze masa achire no nti se sia no ye say ni school no ne dache no very bad. Oye exams be no on pass it because so ba fie no na me ka say 2/3 of the time no o ka ni grow mu kasasa nti no nko nanim. But no man ko PTA no so anka me ante. Into no ko PTA no so na hu akola ni weakness. Into ba fia se na oba ya bo parent. Into me ba fia no me ko me nua ni PTA no me ba fia na me ka me papa say yen try say ye be try say ye become more Dutch ewo fie. Ama na Dutch no I improve because o fail too much ewo na Dutch mu. Omo bisa akola no so no say oba fia o kan African kasa no. Man can say in general Africa kasa no ehia. And yes, and American, a very important tackle be huni krom kasa, but not to the extent whereby a back crash education. We have to have a middle way. Into no, my sister no, dear, Miss Alfred, then my papa try say a can't Dutch no more, many and we try say a can't Dutch no more. Into no in a year time, no me go PTA meeting and I'm who say, Mrs. Ziana then a Dutch and I improve pa. But no, still no. You can't your chrome kasa. Into no one PTA meetings no your weaknesses of your child, your strength of your child. Musa kolani ya di answa. Utu me support no said omo bana mo kasa o bana na wa kom to kwasa. Eso obi sa obana say di enti no kon ye. Aha no no so oba eku 1 2 3 e wo school pe na ye so aggressive na level biano enye biano ni ya push akola na kwa school because you say ho na akola born for what who parent na say go school ko kasa me ba no nya aggressive me ba no school say na me o deserve say so ko me papa oye bi mame oye bi ama menua ketwa maten because I know what the reason why into your school or cocoon and yes so you're aggressive into no but you parent so why involve no so but school I can't say the end of course school no what happened into you need to be able to stand up for your child to involve yourself who involve yourself on na the air course or akwala bro the air course school listen to teachers no so no or more advice in idea sometimes advice and then go straight no straight in no said Michael can say last week no can say almost free Belgium buy no eba Holland almost for class 2 never pass there be class 2 no was send your money na until move on go class 4 because class 2 no must sign the 2 times but who say at that age you know on no at the age of 7 or 7 on to me and can
no
you know and as so go school for catch because on no too much into never pan a call and said there be the more chakola no abroso cram mo fa nko anim no internet it's all about the involvement of the parents very important because no omo kan English and who here say by force I be can that ka English o chire omo wa adwen bi enti a wo kwa omo beti ase
okay
and when you say by force, so can that. But brain can English. As long as you bring your point across and make sure your child is not being treated unfairly, because at that time, at that age, you know, banon to me independent. Wouldn't necessarily okay. As a parent should be really, really involved. Or drew sa profile. Now say na Michael because now struggle at the age of 16. Now struggle about own choose engineering and I said. So we in Akolano life from where when education man. What to make us so? But me my show so I think so you're good in maths you know your content. And I'm sure because me no me now for one I catch them me say I think so we are there microphone some come you know yellow.
Wow.
So be me now for
wow.
Yeah, bedroom be and na me take a decision me na me be a man because obi am person be na no. Into me now I think so yes of course where but I believe that Sanka me papa you more involved that uncle who's is na woman. Yeah. No parents so you more involved. I also akola no do 16 years of go university. Now, what choosing a profile? Wouldn't the aquality me? Oh, we are passionate about people. I think say your nurse. We are there on mathematics. I think say engineering. We are there on corporate. I think say you're saying to me boy in making the right choices because a bedroom age of 16. No, on to me I'm reasoning who say. Course when I'm choose where the bedroom him. Who parent to know betting ya buana man chooses our question, but it all starts from involving yourself.
Wow.
Because why involve yourself? I want to make in making those choices, in making those important decisions. That is why I beg the parents to do that.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Alote. Back to Mr. Alote.
Mr.
Okay, back to Mr. Alote. I want to ask you the same question. How were your mother involved in your education? And can you advise the parent also for me, please, to involve themselves in their children education?
I think my dear wife has hit every note. But just to give my my experience, personally, my mom even got more involved indeed after my dad passed away, and she of course did the best she could, and she was more of like a brainstorm partner with me. So like when I'm having a doubts or something, like okay, I don't know what to do, I could discuss my ideas with her, and she will be like my I just say brainstorm partner in those things. So she was involved, and especially the moment that she was the most involved was the moment that the school decided to indeed make me repeat 1 year after my dad passed away, because she really stepped in at that moment. And but besides that, in general, what I also want to point out is that the reason why it's so important to know your weakness and strength of your child in order to help them educational wise is because we are foreigners in a white man's country, and we know, we don't always see it bluntly, but we know there's always some kind of discrimination because they label us in a certain way. And it's not always that obvious, but if you are involved, you will see those signals a child will not see. And that's when you can step in as a parent. I think Gifty also mentioned it about indeed when I came from Belgium to here, and they just placed me in a certain class. My dad stepped in. I don't want to label it as discrimination, but you don't know the intention behind the people. A second time too, I was completing the primary school, and they gave me a certain advice, and it was not in line with what my dad expected. Like if he saw my results, so he went to question them, why did you give him that advice? And then I think because of whatever excuse they gave. But then they said, well, we should do a certain test. They call it in Holland the CITO test, which everyone, that has to end of year test before you go to secondary school. And apparently, I had one of the highest scores, which actually supposed to make them change the advice to another level. So why give a low advice, you know? So, and at some point, it was a few years later, at that time I was already studying, and my little sister was now going to the same school, and I met this teacher that that was my last year teacher, and including all advice. And she asked me, like, hey, how are you doing now? I told her my situation, I'm now university, this and that. And her response was, oh, it did turn out well for you. And I looked at her and I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, she was like, yeah, at some point you had a fight with this guy, and yeah, you thought you were some kind of rough guy. I'm like, I had one fight with a guy who was destroying my bike secretly, and a friend saw it, and I confronted him, and I had a fight. And then the school also, after the parents of that child complained, the school also asked me to write an apology letter to the parents. And my dad stepped in again. It was like, how dare you? This person is destroying my son's bike. I'm every time paying to repair it, and now you should apologize to them. No, no way. So their whole mind just was painted based on one action I took as a black guy. If I was a white guy, would they have changed the whole idea about how good I am at school just because of what I had with a classmate? So at that age, I'm talking about the age of 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. It's a parent that can face another grown-up in defending your child. And the only way to do that is to know who your child actually is. Is he really an aggressive child? Is he really good at school? You know what I mean? Is the advice in line with what I expect or with how I'm training my child? So these benefits you can create for your child in an environment of Africans and European is only possible if you involve yourself in your children's life on day-to-day basis. You know what's going on in their life, and you can help them to become the man you want them or the woman you want them to become in future. Wow. And that is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Luti. Adam Bacho Biaman is also a question.
Anti-Dogas Yaman Yen Tifon, Anti-Dogas Yaman Anti-Dogas. I so much in my Naomi come audience, so be a question be so busa. As will be a contribution, be able to more so advice Biana, your work here for about 10 minutes now at the other way. Anti-Dogas, Pacho, so Mike in my Anti-Dogas, so okay.
My story.
Changing lives.
Wow, yenya bai wakasa. Oh, nyamishrano pa. Because yam bebrea ekoba you can say education no for your man you taking it serious. It no medana si bebre pa say wama yeni aba ye ho so say say sad ade no you taking it serious pa say you be share your my school mu because emre bebre teachers for no omo ke kan sama na ye say ai oye omo ye brofo ntino na ya ade atum na so yanka say ye hwankola no wo fie na who say akola ne ya ade wo say no but now hwe na omo ka different yikra ntino medana si bebre pa na medamu nyina so ase mo amode platform mi ba ye nyakopo o hwa mo pa me gidi ye pa say nyakopo na e de adom mo say mo beboa ye na se bia edwumre bia ye suro say ye be kasa na ebe boa ye no iti nyame hira mo pa
nyame hira wonso eda pacho bia manensa so we manensa so dia no question bia mpese busa o but
Pacho
Musa. Okay, Mr. Lotte, I want to ask you this question. Mr. Lotte.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah.
How do friends make an impact on education life? Should parents be aware of the friends their children make?
Yeah. Well, let me see how I phrase it. I feel parents, and it has to start from a very young age. And I'm talking about, let's say, 8 years going on. They should know the environment that their child is hanging out with. Because, fine, if you have no clue what the child is, who the child is dealing with, everything, you will not know how this child will grow up to become, because you never know the influence other people might have on your children, and you can put an early stop to it before it's too late. Because when you reach the age of 16, 17 going onwards, they have already quite developed their character. And then to make changes or restrictions or something, it's going to be extremely tough. Friends who you hang out with is what will also depend on, will also have a depending factor on your future. If you hang out with, let's say, street guys and all these things, you are going to really get involved in just extreme example, in gangs and other activities instead of education. If you hang out with kids that also have a good surrounding at home, that education is important to them, you will see your child will also follow or compete in them in a healthy way to also work on their own development. So, and a child at the age of 8, 9 doesn't know the difference between okay, what's a good crowd to be with and what's not a bad crowd to be with, because what they want to do is just have fun. In the end, how they develop themselves will depend on how the parents are involved themselves in the children's life. And for example, when I was growing up, if you look at, let's for example, my friends now, all my friends are educated. The one is a business controller, the other one is a lawyer, the other one is an IT specialist. He's even now thinking of starting his own company. It's because growing up, we had the same or similar dreams, similar aspires, things we wanted to achieve personally. So knowing that as a parent, you are more relaxed with who your child is hanging out with, because it will not be a bad influence on your child. And also, whatever you are teaching your child is also more in line with the environment the child is in, and he will understand or listen to you even better than him thinking of, oh no, my friends are having more fun instead of schooling, I want to go and do that, whilst you are trying to teach him the importance of education. So yeah, if the environment the child is growing up is not aligned with what you want to instill in him, you cannot know, or you cannot know how the child will turn out. You'll probably be totally opposite what you have hoped or expected. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Luti. Gift in patch, remember the kakraka home because of your time, no. Study and making ya send them for almost making impact. They say be our back of father for making impact on addition. They say, yeah, our phone also so no. Yes, so you they say, yeah, aware of friends are yemba or muchusu.
I think Mecca Bibi Kakra about your concept be your friend mathematics of friendship. Now, the mathematics of friendship no etrayen sa for arithmetics na yesua e school no into no your subtraction and your addition and your division and your multiply. And you know, one kasa wo ba no in a sense will take that decision which kind of friend I want to choose. I don't for no or your subtraction no, or bring it down or GBB a free wo. Example, I don't for I want no and who say oh no and your Maria no ria baby no nsa ya ha udi nechi ade bia so ni mfaso bia no e no be ma waye obeye kromfo obe started drugs ni ade sa dan for no no ye they subtract you omo ye the papa bia ewo mu no efru mu as a human being and ye wa dan for oye division or papa mu. So who say woni obi a oye kakra e na mpe opeso o twon every sanipa no because sanipa no na beboa into no be who say no kan we ho asembone ono de oba oni onipa papa oni obi a ho asempa enka da enkyerɛw sa dan for no oye division. So sa concept me anyway, subtraction of friendship, any division of friendship. So to me as a parent no e ban life more eboa no. Growing up, no, me choose those other two. Adam for about multiply me. Any Adam for or the addition be bring me my brabo. Into Adam for be multiply me no any day or be cancel papa oh gift I think say you sua dia you tenas me sua dia course we ye be pass ye benya 9. Tenas me sua dia we law school because we started law school no. First day you started first year no. Near 400 students. School pen no ewure no assemble ko kan a stick it to me no say maba law school yen hwe de obewie
Wow.
Starting with 400 students. Yeah, US school near 80.
Wow.
320 students drop it out. And it depended on the kind of friendship I involved myself in. Adam for your addition, piano or bro mauko any or challenge you. So and no when you're 7, 1 year dear cry, try say next time we'll be 8. So the addition and the multiplication of friendship, it applies to us.
Yes.
Adam for Bama wire mema and the backbiting and you need to start to eliminate those company out of you, because so to me is now the positive people. If you surround yourself with positive people, now one person who say your life uplifts. Advance because you are positive, you are a positive thinker, and you are with positive people to around you. This mathematics of friendship, so to me extra will say these are the kind of friendship your bring your value to your life. And your double your values. The addition one and the multiplication one. And no now here. Me no na Ghana for and I'm for baby, but girls. Me who say me share piano and me myself. And so at some point, I had to drop them. Because I felt say they were subtracting me. Omo GB being called from me. Omo for so be yensia de ye moye ho. Oka say that no me na wo no omo ye me bridesmaid. No omo ba via no mo hwefia no mo hwefia like omo hu de omo hu so omo ka ho asem omo ka papa.
Oh my God.
Who the ammonia and I said, really? And I'm mafia because be all this so negative bremen, I don't need them. So if you surround yourself with positive people, a better uplift to one and it will help you also to succeed in life. Because who make it the right choices of friendship, your future is brighter. Because you know, say a good friend can make you and a bad friend can break you. And I almost say it is important to be alone than to be in a bad company. In the zone than for crown, no way better so be to thousands of an hour for almost value be a brabo. I believe say as young grown-ups, as a child, me as our concept we are who say me now for party me started say me making new kinds of friends. Me do me promotion ba na me di echire bibi e ba na ye di echire no and no na be boa me because we challenge ourselves. Yeah, say dia me ye djuma no Ghana for ho no mo ye
anti gifty we need be my member because once I can on it's like say
too much.
It's like say you're preaching the gospel with anointing.
That's why you can't
you don't want to rush, Antiba. Because we are next week in a very different program. After that, Auntie Gifty and our brother Mike.
Okay.
If I say more prepare about friendship. You best tell and cross they receive me. Okay, so me the ombi.
There's a whole crying topic.
Enter me can say, I said, or rational do. And you can see, I say, now, next week, you will show program is what Livia, live the month for Livia, I know. Mistress a woman, her mistress, I know my whole Libya control. Now, sir, all the way or dom now, who the cat and about which Massa, man, no, you didn't hear to ma. The bra, and next week, Auntie Bra, you will share Libya country from Ghana to Libya, cross to the sea, get to Italy, get to Belgium, working with another.
Translate it to him.
Next week, India, a brutal. And then you have Mamma, no mercy. After that, you are going to call Brother Michael and Auntie Gifty again. And then you're going to have the talk about friendship. And then you go to details about details. Akiva, over to you.
Mr. and Mrs. Salute.
Wow.
Thank you so much. We couldn't have done this program without you guys. You guys are so amazing. We appreciate your presence. Thank you once again. We love you so much. Thank you. And I mean, I don't say, Yame Adoma China, nine, you share Mama, Dina, and Piebo, 9 to 10. And then Yame Adoma Swa, Wednesdays and Susia, 10 to 11:30 and Mre. Yame Adoma Swa Fridays and Susia, 10 p.m. to 12 noon. And see, yeah, home, the near when I'm from me. If I told Mama Dina, Mama, me pacha bomba ya ma program na bibi se me say hyenhyira hyenhyira pa go so pa wo me hyenhyira ensem go wo so.
Okay, the nyamiasi
se nyame nsaman.
The nyamiasi anti gifty one amaki nyami unhyira mo papa. In fact, program no meti hedin na metie na mama ya ye nhyira papa me kunu tie bi asem o kan ne se mo ye nyansafo ya me onhyira mo
Oh yeah, big girl.
In kwasem ni program we die esensenka enipa pem tie ba enim se nyame be ame nhyira mo ye bompa Odumfo Nyankopon anwumre yeda wase.
Amen.
Abadenten yede ne onyama wudini.
Amen.
Nipa ntimi nya bibi ti se odi firi surama. Ntie ni nyansa nyina wawrade wo na wode ma.
Amen.
Yeda wase enenso ewo anti gifty ene Mr. Alote Michael so abrabo so. Una mon kola yesu atuyefo akasa akyere. Amma ya nida ho. Ebie ya dwene mu so ama ya hweye nso owura ya dawase so wani mo nyam bebre so nam ye mai so atu ya mfuse eni die ne no nyam nka wawrate e bomba ye wo Yesu Kristo Nazareth di mu owura nsem o makan papa ye mpa bo ni se ye mfa antu ye tum ye mfa nante ye mfa mobra esanse ye ochire futuo no okon social ni amaniem na de otia futuo no nso so da bia na kwan tere se de Solomon kan e wo mebusem ho e bompa ye wo Yesu Kristo na azeti dem se nensem ya abai awofuo ye serade so be boa ye amanya nso yetim jate ye ma se enkola wo mo papa no mo na gya wo mo at the age of 13 any breath say na wonyame wonam so aboa wo amene wo hunyansa ama odibia kodu se ya na chese yanso ye maame ne papa te ase a yanso betumi ayesa aboa ye ma awurade boa fo wo Yesu dine mu ma awofo ni die ni nyansa ye de betete ye ma ne ye ma kai ne ye no me ye ma ye kanse wunu ye kan ye ma biara e betwi ye ma education aba from ne mom no ye namanti gift ni Mr. Lota asemi awurade wo di ato wo so e be pusi ye ma ama omo so akonka be ye se omo ora boa ye sada ye bompa ye wo Yesu Kristo demo awurade program yi si ma woni onyam na adi mi ja anti gift ni Mr. Alote Mark Alote Mrs. Lote and Mr. Michael ye do mo nyina shayo so mo jani Mr. and Mrs. Lote Mr. and Mrs. Lote de mo nyina shayo so mo jani pompa ye wo Yesu de mo ye seni die ni nyansa Bible say e kan ye mu bi nyansa mu se rade enkra nye o ma ho oden no ma bedu sabre o ma nyi wo rade wo mfiri mu o mu di wo rade na hyaase se enani e ja won pa wo rade na abeboa wo rade ko so ma o mu nyansa ni die ko so peja wo ko so mo ho oden ko so mo mu nya cancel tensa abre bi o metimi aka ama nkola ɛsɛe nkola ɛtɔba awofo anim so mutimi nhwɛ no awurade wonam saa program yi so ahyira mmɔfra yi ama yɛn nso yɛtumi ahyia deɛ afiri mu owura yɛ wɔn kɛseɛ daa me mpaebɔ ne sɛ awurade nyansa yi a wode adom wei wɔn mo bɛwo nkɔmɔ fɛs wɔ awurade nka ɛnyɛ ntaafoɔ ne deɛ ne nyansa ɛnhyɛ wɔn ma mɛyɛ akɛseɛ wɔn ma mɛyɛ nimdiefoɔ ɛnkyɛ wɔn maame ne wɔn papa me bɔ mpaeɛ wɔ yesu kristo nazareth nti mu awurade wɔnhyira mo na ɔnkyerɛ mo ahyiam ɔmpagya mo fa mo mfiri adom mo nkɔ adom mo afei apam bi a boɔ mo maame ne mo apɛ fie a ɛbɛdi mo akyi yesu di mu yɛde mogya no atwam yɛbɔ mpaeɛ sɛ mogya mobɛnyini akyɛ mobɛtena ase ahyɛ mo ma nanananana no anim na moko mo nya mo ma da na nyansa ne ne deɛ nyame de adom mu no mode bɛtoa so akyerɛkyerɛ afoforɔ ma afoforɔ te sɛ abibifoɔ yɛn nso yɛma abɛnya mfasoɔ yɛn nso yɛma abɛdi yie wɔ aborɔkyimma yi mu na yɛakasa mpa sɛ awurade ka kyerɛ abraham sɛ abraham mɛhyira baabi a wobɛkɔ bia no sɛ nhyira yi a awurade de ahyira mahyira ɛdi yɛn nso yɛne yɛma akyi owura yɛ ne saa ma yɛ daa mebɔ mpa yesu ne program yɛti atake bi a bɛsɔre atia hɔ sɛ bɛhyɛ program na wɔyɛ aba nti yesu mogya ka n'anim tumi deɛ bɛtata hɔ ne nneɛma bɔne ne susu bɔne yesu mogya brɛ mo ase wɔ yesu dene mu bɔ mpa yɛ wɔ yesu kristo nasaret nim sɛ na program akyi no awurade bɛbɔ te pra mo nhyira kɛseyɛ mpagya animonyam ɛka nkɔ awurade de ne nyinaa de bɛdom wɔ yesu dene mu ɛbɔ mpa na megya ma sɔre mpanimfoɔ nyinaa bɛ awurade anim sɛ awurade sɛ ɔbɛdom ne deɛ ne nyansa sɛ program yi ɛyɛ program a awurade bebree ne afiri a ɔmo hu ne yɛ wonam mansɔre mpanimfoɔ so kyerɛ ɛnti awurade hyira wɔ ne nam so twe dɔm firi apuoyɛ atɔyɛ atifi ne anafoɔ bra program sɛ na adesua kɛseɛ sɛ yɛ pie di a ne twɛ sɛ yɛni a wɔn aka nyina awurade wotwa mo ba platform yi so na ɔmo so bɛtie bi owura kyerɛ platform ɛnkɔ wiase afa no nyinaa ɛwɔ jesus dim ma mpanimfoɔ ɔdɔ koro yɛ nte aseɛ nkabɔ mu awurade fa do mo afei megya wɔn a wɔwɔ platform so nyinaa sɛ biribi do obi akoma so berɛ wɔsɛ na dagye aba platform so asafo awurade ɔnyɛ ma wo sɛ wohia ba sɛ wohia ntwuma sɛ wo so womɛhia nyansare ne mu die sɛ wo so wohia adeɛ bia yɛfuna wo ba asafo awurade nam program so nyɛ mo a mo ne da so asa sɛ ka obi nyansa bi sɛ awurade deɛ a na sɛ mbɛda market ne sister gifty sɛ na awurade abɛpagya wɔn a mo ne da so asa no nyame a ɔpagya bɔda market ne sister gifty no ɔmpagya mo so mo ma saa na ɔnyɛ yɛ kɛse ɛwɔ jesus christ din mu yɛbɔ mpa ne ɛka kyerɛ awurade sɛ na wɔtwe yɛba bɛsi mu awurade nhwɛ yɛn so ɔmo yɛ ho ba ne nimdeɛ ne nyansa ante yɛbɔ mpa agya ante viva hyɛ awurade sɛ awurade nhyira no ɔma ne nsa so da bia so bɛtuma yɛ masa papapa ama program yi owura yɛda wase ɛna nnwummerɛ yi wɔne kyɛ na ne yɛ nkasa na sɛ ade pa bi kyi a yɛmfa wase dɛ ne yɛde anuonyam bɛma wo yɛda wase biam ɛwɔ mr and mrs alote so abrabɔ so sɛ te w'anim kyerɛ wɔn ma ne nsi wɔn yie ɛwɔ yesu kristo dim na yɛbɔ mpaeɛ amen
ma nyame nhyira wo na mewerɛ fi adeɛ ketewa bi gifti na ne maame yɛ adwuma wɔ gbc sɛ mokae beatrice williams a na ɔyɛ nzema program that is her mother ne late mother no ɔno na na ɔyɛ nzema program ɛwɔ gbc beatrice williams late mother ipatwa
ma mbacho so bia obi anti de ya mama yiba edika kan program set mu mai bi mpa ebo no na obi a wanti ne yi
na me pacho program na anti eva kan Monday me pacho 9 o'clock ni upon 10:15 ye di man pa ebo se program bi da wo so a woni obi a o ha bi mu a nti me ba so be ka kire me nyina Monday de di man pa ebo nko a na ye wi a ye de be 15 minutes ni so aba amaye ho Wednesday so me pacho 10 o'clock ni upon 11:30 Friday so me pacho 10 o'clock me pacho ni upon 12 o'clock me pacho wonya hwe abra e be bompa ye ne bobi ma o ma ne wadwuma because e bra edre se wo da e be so ba na o da na adwo na o ba bi be wi ane ba wa hu hwe no e na be bompa na be ye nhira ye ne man sorry de ye ntafo nti ba no aba so na nya be nhira
amen nyame nhyira mo pa gifti I mean, shout no husband. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Alote.
Thank
I
you.
mean, Shramo,
May
Papa,
Almighty God richly bless you guys.
Amen.
Next week, Libya, I come to Muslim. And yes, yeah. The mission will be a anti-gift.
And
Papa. My story, you get it big mission winner.
Yeah, I mean, Shramo too.
So, Mama di Mama.
Hey, brothers,
One in town, Mama. I saw bet when you had any trim, I was saying, Nana Bako, saying, Nana, for you do Bako. Hey, you're